Welcome to the Plant-Based Podcast. Did you know that plants are truly amazing? Not only can you grow them and eat them, you can also wear them, drink them, nourish your skin with them, and so much more. Let Ellen and Michael inspire you to love plants as much as they do, as they chat with the movers and shakers in this wonderful plant-based world. So, let's dig in.
Hey guys, our Series 8 sponsors are Drought. They're a farmer-owned cooperative who believe in selecting only the finest, freshest salad mixes, delivering the best salads naturally full of flavour. Did you know their salad bags can be recycled at supermarket soft plastic recycling areas as well? Why not create all kinds of recipes with salad leaves, but how will you make your dish unflourettable? Welcome to the Plant-Based Podcast News.
Your horticultural news roundup for the week.
Organised by the Beth Chatto Education Trust, Rewilding the Mind, the Beth Chatto Symposium 2022 is taking place at the Ivor Crew Lecture Hall at the University of Essex Colchester campus. This is on from September the 1st to the 2nd, and it offers a mixture of lectures, discussion panels, and an opportunity to meet other professionals. Accommodation is also available at the university halls at an affordable price.
Peat made up less than 30% of the compost sold to gardeners in the UK in 2021. A new report from the horticultural industry has recently shown. The latest annual figures show the use of peat in the retail sector in bags of compost sold to customers in garden centres and supermarkets fell from 35.5% of overall compost and soil improvers in 2020 to 29.8% in 2021.
Now for some pruning news. Wisteria are well-known vigorous climbers that clothe houses, garden walls and trees. According to the RHS, August is a great time to prune this plant. The removal of the growth in the summer allows better air circulation and more sunlight to reach the base of young growths. This encourages better ripening of the wood and improves your chances of flower bud formation.
Well, that's excellent advice. Thank you. Some exciting PR news now. Salad brand Floret has teamed up with gardening influencer and TV presenter Michael Perry.
Me!
The partnership will see Michael, also known as Mr. Plant Geek, produce exclusive content for the brand alongside sponsorship of this very plant-based podcast. Floret said it hoped the new alliance would reposition the brand and highlight its farmer-owned credentials and passion for sustainably produced, fresh and tasty salads. Do a little squeal.
I already was.
Is that a squeal?
Yeah.
Like an excited squeal. Go on. It sounds like a ghostly sound.
We just had a really exciting email in, Mary.
We did. Tell us about it.
Well, because you can't remember already.
I already remember that. I do remember that we got a silver award.
At the garden.com awards. Sorry, I just bashed Ellen with a cushion.
You did.
She gave me such an evil. At the garden.com awards, which is like the American version of the Garden Media Guild, and we got a silver award for the plant-based podcast.
And more.
Oh, well, I got one from MrPlantGeek.com, but this is not all about me.
Oh, it's not all about you. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realise.
But yeah, how cool's that?
It's very cool. Well done,
Congratulations, young Ellen.
Congratulations, Michael Berry.
Oh, that's well cool. No, it literally just came in fresh.
That's lovely.
Yeah, just then. But we need something to celebrate because your front garden's dead, isn't it?
Well, I was
What happened,
away. I was
Mary?
away during the heat wave, and there wasn't, unfortunately, anyone to water it. When I came back, it was pretty much frazzled. There's a few things that survived, like
tough,
the sedum, the buddleia, the one that everyone hates, is still alive. So yeah, I have had to have a bit of a clear up out there. But I'm just not here all the time, and I can't do much about it. I can't rely on other people to water. So anyway, I cleared a load away. I've planted some drought-tolerant plants out there. So I've started with some sedum, some delosperma. I've got some verbena bonariensis to go in. And I'm going to actually mulch it, but with pebbles, and have it as a dry garden.
The best thing I ever did was mulch my front garden.
Yeah.
Really. And also, I think after a while in the garden, you kind of learn the things that... And also, things are changing as well, to learn what will survive also in your certain conditions as well. And
it's at the front of the house is hot and dry, and I don't think having the massive buddleia helps, so it is going to have to be removed.
What, because it's sucking stuff
it's
off the
sucking all the nutrients in the water away, but even without that, it's hot and dry. So I'm going for full-on drought-tolerant planting out there, and hopefully that will do better if I'm not here in a heat wave.
Flip to the flop.
Yeah. Flop to the flip.
But my friend garden, like this... My fennel has just gone absolutely mad. It's
wonderful.
Just amazing. And my Calamagrostis
that you love.
and my Verbena bonariensis, just it's amazing. But there's so many things in the back garden that have just kind of failed. I think I underestimated how dry the soil actually is. And I think when I first planted it up, you kind of plant it up. Maybe, if I'm honest, I kind of planted up almost as if it was a Chelsea garden. Like you kind of just plant it up with things that you would like to see the look of, but you don't necessarily think of it more practically. And then I guess after a while, being in a garden for a year and a half, you then realise the conditions, the soil, and you can't always know that when you first walk into it. So it is trial and error.
Well, it's one of the reasons why if someone asks me what to do when they've just moved into a new house, what should I do with my garden? And it's really, really hard to do, and I know it's hard to do, but my advice is always nothing for a year.
Or Verbena bonariensis.
Nothing. Watch it, observe it, see what's growing, check the soil. Totally. Where is the sun? Where is the shade? Does it get wet? Is there a microclimate? All of those things for a year, because that will benefit you and it will save you time and money ultimately. But we do all know that basically the temptation is far too great to do nothing. Do you know what I mean? You're bound to do something because you just can't wait.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, I think every garden I've ever been to, I've learned, I've made mistakes. I've done things that haven't worked out so well. Yeah. And you learn from it, don't you?
Oh my gosh.
So you've got so much wildlife in your garden.
I know.
Please tell us about it, because you're super excited and it's really awesome to hear.
Oh God, how gruesome do you want to be?
Not overly gruesome.
Well, I'll tell you the lovely side of it first. I got my hedgehog nest, which I have mentioned, which is under a whole pile of bamboo leaves, so they came to some good use. For anyone that missed it, I kind of I went to pick up this pile of leaves and I thought, they've just blown into this corner. But lo and behold, no, it was a hedgehog nest.
Amazing.
It's about what I could see on my very quick glance, accidentally I must add, before hedgehog lovers get in touch. 4 babies and obviously a ma were in there. So I was just oh my God, I'm covered it back up. And I put out a little bowl of water, etc. And I actually saw one, obviously the mum kind of coming out at some point, later in the day one day. That was pretty cool. I think they're still there. I certainly saw them a week after they'd been there. So I obviously hadn't disturbed them, but I don't know since then. But I'm quite pleased because, like we were saying in the car today, my garden's kind of seemingly quite modern and kind of slick.
Slick.
Can the garden be slick? I don't know. But actually, it's quite wildlife attracting, and I didn't think I had a fence. A hedgehog highway fence. But I've realised that at the back of the garden, around where the compost heap is, it kind of it slopes off under.
Right.
And I'm not sure if that's like naturally giving that space under there, or they've like burrowed and made it. But anyway, they can have that. That's fine. And then the other day, I heard this frog like at night in the garden, which was like playing cat and mouse with a cat.
I don't want to hear the story.
Well, I'm not sure how it ended because I didn't see anything in the morning, so I don't know. But also birds as well. Birds are coming in for the mealworms and all of this jazz. Yeah, I'm really amazed at what I've been able to attract.
Like in your garden, you've got a lot of ground coverage, so there's a lot of places for insects to hide or wildlife to come through
ground
and
cover
hide.
makes gardening easier anyway. So
Less weeds. And I think we were saying, was it earlier on, that obviously lots of new houses, or like estate houses being built, they have all the fence panels going up, and often some of them are concrete at the bottom as well. But you need places for wildlife to get in, because that creates a biodiverse garden. So I think that every new house with a garden, all the fences should just have a little hole in the bottom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like a hedgehog could just get through and walk through all of the gardens just as standard.
Yeah, because what's the other thing they were starting to have standardised? The bee bricks, things like that.
Yeah, the bee bricks, like a couple in the back
just
wall.
something along those lines as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. Because it does make you so happy to have that biodiverse garden. Like, you have genuinely squealed when you've seen wildlife. You know, it's so nice to see.
I also squealed when we went to this interview at Natural Surroundings this morning.
Natural Surroundings is just so beautiful.
Oh, even though it's in the bum end of nowhere.
Well, it's just outside of Holt in Norfolk. So you're heading on up towards Blakeney, which is pretty high up on the Norfolk coast. But it's a beautiful... Holt is amazing, but Natural Surroundings is just stunning.
Oh my God, known about
all the wildflowers, and
magical.
Simon and Anne had so much knowledge, and they were so relaxed about it and everything. It was absolutely lovely.
We've had a busy old podcast day, haven't we, Ellen? Because we recorded all of our interviews for the series, all bar, obviously, our gossips and our news episodes as well, because we've also had a chat with the guys at Fleuret, Team Fleuret, also Mark Diacono about fermentation
and
as well.
Herbs and all kinds of things.
That's been cool, defo. And we've been making up some recipes with salad that we're going to release soon on Reels as well.
We've got some cool Reels with some fun recipes with just kind of different stuff using lettuce leaves.
Do you know, I have to say, like, I use my lettuce as a stir fry with like ginger and so, and it was really cool actually.
Okay, I was gonna, did it not get like wetty, or did that matter?
Well, sort of, but it's kind of then
wetty. Is that even a word? I don't know.
Well, sort of, but I didn't mind, because almost like kind of in like more authentic like Chinese cuisine, you would have dishes that are a little bit like that. So it didn't have like your typical stir fry crunch, but it was but
I guess you would have like pak choi, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah,
and that gets bit, like that.
Where it kind of and I think sometimes we kind of got such preconception what we think food should be like. Oh, stir fry should be airy and crunchy. It's like, well, no, it's actually really, really nice and flavoured really well as well. And,
oh, that's really cool. Well, we've got those coming out. I have to tell my next door neighbour gave me tons of blackberries.
Oh, I saw that. That looked like
tons of
lot of fun.
There was a lot of blackberries, and I was kind of like, what am I going to make with all of these? So I looked up some different recipes. I froze a load, standard, and I found this recipe, which was a blackberry and bourbon milkshake. Oh my gosh.
Bourbon? What's that? Whiskey?
Yeah.
What?
I can't begin.
Milkshake.
Can I tell you?
I can't
it was amazing. I couldn't either.
Milk.
But I made a blackberry cobbler, and then I made blackberry overnight oats, and then I made blackberry and bourbon milkshake.
What, in
and
that kitchen?
I was in that kitchen. Yes, in my kitchen I made that. Honestly, and I done it as experiment. I wanted to, really is this. It was absolutely amazing. Oh well, I use my soy milk. It doesn't matter. That's kind of irrelevant, because you're going to put some ice cream in it and some blackberries and blackberry jam in it, and then your bourbon in it.
That is racy as hell.
Oh my God, I cannot tell you how lush it was. Really? So when you were saying about food, like we have these preconceived ideas. When you say like milkshake, you would never think of doing
drunken milkshake.
It was a drunken milkshake, and
Ellen, that is the coolest thing you told me for at least an hour.
Anyway, just so you know, I have I've written a blog, and then I've written all 3 recipes on it, and then I'll post it to social media, and you can go to the blog and see how to make it. But it was it blew my mind. Like I was honestly drinking it, going, what? And it was super strong. But it was really good.
Are you now a recipe blogger?
No, but it's plant-based eating, and I get asked loads. I get asked so many questions about plant-based
really
eating.
cool.
So doing a little bit of that was really cool. But anyway, that's how to use blackberries with bourbon.
I was going to say, on completely another subject, my worm farm.
We're coming back to you.
Oh, it's really doing well, darling.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really fun. You should get one. Do you like worms?
No.
Well, I don't like worms to like touch.
Oh, no, I do. Worms are amazing.
No, but would you touch them?
But I'm not here all year, so I don't think I could do it, because I don't know what would happen when I wasn't here. Well, I don't think I could.
No, it takes... because I contacted people, it started to have a little bit of mould on top, because you don't add the stuff in that often.
Right.
So it could be easily, when you're away in the winter, maybe I could feed your worms. But yeah, so kind of, I was almost like putting too much, and it needs to be almost like a bit on the drier side, because otherwise it then, attracts the mould. And if you've got too much, then the worms are not, you've got to get to it just as the worms are breaking it down.
Right.
Whereas if you've got more there, then it's kind of just sitting there and not being used and devoured. So yeah, but it's really fun. But the bit I don't like is how the worms kind of sit in the lid. So when you pull the lid off to look in, there's a worm in the lid.
Well, it's not going to hurt you.
And every time, Ellen, this is really funny. Every time I open the lid and look inside, afterwards, I always make sure I wash my hands. Even though I haven't touched anything or a worm, but it's just weird. My hygiene is just off the scale when it comes to my worm farm, which is great.
Worms are amazing. I don't mind a wiggly worm.
But it's really, they're really funny. Because they're so... I wonder if they're going to get bigger. Well, I guess they will. Because they seem so juvenile at the moment. They're very, skinny.
When do you use them in the garden?
Worms.
What happens next?
I don't know. I need to check what they... Well, no, because this is like the worm farm. They kind of live in here, and all the layers are being added, and then the castings fall off through the bottom. Mm-hmm. And there's also a tap where you pull off the liquid. But I don't know if they live in there forever. How long does a worm live?
There's a
lot
good
of questions
question.
here, actually.
There are, aren't there?
Yeah.
How long do the worms live for? What happens if one day you open the lid and they're just all not there anymore? They've died. Genuinely. What if they only live... I literally have no idea.
As long as they've still got stuff to break down, they'll be there.
They'll live forever. They'll live forever if they can have food.
I feel like I've got 100 pets that I didn't sign up for.
You're going to have a big vet's bill.
But no, it's really fascinating, actually.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
But yeah, you're welcome to them. And yeah, you can travel with them.
Yeah.
What if someone had a pet worm?
I would bet you there's someone in the world that has a pet worm.
Yeah.
I actually saw somebody on TikTok that has a pet squirrel. Squirrel? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds just...
weird.
Sounds vicious. That's the only word I can bring here.
Very good. Do you have any more gossip for us?
No, do you?
No, I'm done, because I actually really need to go and have a Blackberry and bourbon milkshake again now.
Are you making them?
I could do.
Oh, I came on the train today, so I'll have one too. See ya.
Bye.
Sport.
Everything produced by Floret, sponsors of Series 8 of the podcast, is grown by a network of passionate local farmers who make quality and freshness their top priority. Whatever the dish, savour the flavour and make it unfloretable.
The music for the Plant-Based podcast is part of the song Grow by Mikey James, and our editor is Gareth Patch of Semi Echo.